In 1990, Buster Douglas traveled to Japan to face Mike Tyson. All the odds were stacked against him because he was facing Mike Tyson that was invisible in the late 80s and early 90s. And nobody gave him a chance except a puncher's chance. And this is a time that we people learn that when you are facing anything in this world, that when anything is stacked against you, all the odds are stacked against you. That means you have to do something that you can use it to prove other people that they are wrong. And that night, actually, for those people who watched the fight, I was too young to know the fight, but I watched later in 1990s, early 2000. Douglas made an easy work of Mike Tyson. He knocked him out in the 9th round or 10th round, even though other people could dispute that it was a long con. But we seen that, we saw that it was a fair for him to win that fight because he had to shut a lot of people. So there's a guy called Francis Ngannou that was fighting today, and everybody always undermined him because he is a guy that came from Cameroon, traversed all the desert and vast lands of Africa just to take a boat to France. And he thought he's not going to make it in life because once he got to France, Ngannou or Francis Ngannou became homeless. And whatever he wanted to do, he did to the best because he've always grown up that he wanting to be a fighter, but he never had a chance. So he became homeless, and then he found a gym that he could, uh, resort to. And in one of those gyms, he found a guy that could train him, but he actually wanted to be a boxer in the beginning. But what happened is that trainer told him that in order for you to make it in life, it's easier to take the route of UFC. UFC, for those people who doesn't know, is Ultimate Fighting Championship. You can use anything to fight your opponent. And what actually happened is the guy advised him, the coach advised him that UFC is better than boxing because boxing has a lot of politics, like we've seen it tonight. Long story short, the guy joined UFC, came to US, signed up with Dana. Dana White told him that, sign the contract because he just came, he wanted money, signed the contract, and he was given, this pretty decent fight, some little cash, and the guy decided to quit. And like I said before, everything was stacked against him because nobody believed in him. He is a guy that he had nothing to lose in life. And we saw it tonight. When he came to this fight, it was 10-5 underdog. The odds was -1, positive 170. It was like everybody knew that Fury was going to win. And what happened? Francis Ngannou proved us wrong and proved all the doubters that he could actually do something meaningful with his life. He knocked Tyson Fury down on the 3rd round and moved on to dominate Tyson for about 2-3 rounds before Tyson regained the dominance, but it was too late. And what happened? The judges gave to Tyson Fury. And this is where I'm getting to. Boxing is no longer a sport. Boxing is about politics. You've seen tonight. The guy who actually won the fight lost the fight, technically. It was his debut, and we didn't expect much from him. Like I said, I was one of those guys who didn't believe in Francis Ngannou, but he did. He proved me wrong. I accept that. But the vindication that he showed us tonight was that he's a very good fighter. He's a sustainable fighter that he actually, one funny thing is he fights under a contract of UFC and he has a contract with boxing. He has a bright future. Even though he's 37 years old, he has a very bright future. In the world of realm world of boxing or any sports, we never expected to see somebody like that. So he's going to be a savior for the sports. Probably he's going to be the richest athlete in Africa. Who knows? He might have about 10 years of his career right now up to 45 years old. If he make an average of $1.5 million for the next 10 years, or every 3 fights a year, well and good, he's going to be rich. But I'm saying, this guy showed a heart, and he showed the dominance, and he showed us that nothing is predictable, and you have to believe in yourself. The reason why I made this video is because I wanted to praise Francis. For those of you guys who doesn't know about him, go to YouTube, search his name, and see his life. He came from nothing and he made something out of nothing. 10 years ago, it was just nobody in Cameroon. He was in the sand mines, sand mines of Cameroon. He was, scooping sands, throwing in the truck, earning less than $10 a month. Tonight, he made $10 million, and that's just a beginning for him. I'm so proud of him. Right? Boxing politics in the hearts of many, the boxing fans, we can all agree that he won the fight, even though he didn't win the fight technically, but he won our hearts. Now I'm a believer, even though I wasn't a believer before that fight. Right? So aside from the politics, when I watched another documentary about boxing some few years ago, they usually say you build up the fight to a continuous innuendo, and then the loser of the fight is going to drop. Tyson Fury's stock dropped today. Francis Ngannou is the new man. Now, let's just give it 6 months, 6 months to a year, he's going to be a threat on heavyweight division. Anybody that is in heavyweight, because this is the guy that's 6 feet, 6 feet 6 inches, weighing 300 pounds of muscle. Nothing can stop that guy right now in his life. He has just arrived in boxing scene. Believe it or not. And then they went ahead just to give this fat guy called Usyk just a platform to come and promote the next fight with Tyson Fury, a guy who just lost a fight a few seconds ago, a guy who people bet on him to win the fight, convincingly, but he didn't. He didn't prove that he actually, even you could tell from his face that he was actually very embarrassed because he was trying to legitimize his victory in front of in the eyes of the many, but he couldn't. He drowned today. Watch for this guy, Francis Ngannou. He's going to be a threat. He's going to be here for a long time. And props to his trainer, Mike Tyson. He did a wonderful job.